What's happening, folks? Baz here. So, the latest topic is the Super Bowl halftime show and all those little hidden messages and whatnot. Now, I'm gonna tuck Serena Williams aside because I don't think she really needs any explanation. There's people who are I guess glorifying her for standing up to Drake. There's people who are saying she's stupid because if she was over Drake, she wouldn't have to do all that. I don't think it had anything to do with Drake why she did that. She made a comment. Apparently, there was another championship or another event that she had gone to, a tennis event, where at the end of the event when she won, she did the crip walk, whatever, and I guess got in trouble for it or got flack for it. I don't think it's ghetto. I don't. I get why people might want to think that. I don't think it's ghetto. It's a dance. It is what it is, right? Um, so I think for her being offered a chance to do that same dance in one of the biggest sporting events in the world, it boiled down to just basic glory. You know what I mean? Just the glory in that is enough. If anything, throwing that shit in Drake's face was icing on the cake. You know what I mean? It really wasn't about Drake, but if Drake gets upset about it because she did it, then that's just the bonus, right? So I'm gonna tuck that aside. As far as her little sister being murdered by Crips or whatever, and she's misrepresenting or what, whatever, man. It's just Super Bowl half the time show. That's what it is, right? Where Kendrick is concerned. Now, there's a lot of people who were analyzing it and breaking it down, and they did all that symbolism thing shit. And for for certain artists that works, you know. For a halftime show, Super Bowl halftime show, people aren't tuning in to have hidden messages thrown at them and all that. They're tuning in to be entertained. Um, and it's not just hip hop artists, hip hop fans. It's fans who just people who aren't even football fans tune in literally just to watch the halftime show. Like it's one of those biggest events, you know. And so they're wanting to be entertained. So the point is to be entertaining. Um, to suggest in any message that hip hop or rap is too black for white people is stupid. Um, White people make up probably the biggest majority of black sales for black artists, black hip hop artists, black rappers and whatnot. They make up the biggest sales. They make up the biggest fans. You look at the concerts, all your spring break events and shit and summer jam shit. Look at all those crowds and whatnot. People who go to Coachella, yeah, you'll see a couple black and brown heads in the crowd here and there, but the majority of them are white people. You know, I think it's funny because I remember there's a time when even Lauryn Hill had made a comment about not liking white people or some shit, but then she did a free concert back in 2005 in Central Park, and the majority of people who went there were white people. They you know and it's not like white people just outright hate hip hop. They don't. Hip hop is it's become worldwide. It's our culture. It's American culture, but it's a culture that has been glorified and emulated in other societies. You would look at the French. The French have their own version of hip hop and rap. Same for the Italians. Same for the Spanish. Same for the Germans. Russians have their own hip hop. Arabs, Indians got their own hip hop. The English love hip hop. Old English people, they love it. They love how, well, particularly battle rap. They like how intricate and witty battle rap is. And so for people like me, now, I when I look at rappers or hip hop artists, I base them off their not just their content but their quality, how they deliver it. And this is where my gripe with Kendrick is, because Kendrick, he may have a message and it may be worth hearing, but his delivery is awkward. It works for him. He has obviously made it. I'm not in Kendrick's shoes, right? But compared to other writers, other artists, his delivery is a little awkward. If you have to sit back and break down every single bar in order for people to understand what you're saying, it means your editing wasn't very good. Take for instance, if you watch Watch Smack. Watch URL. Watch battle rap where brothers get on stage and they battle each other. Um, and listen to the content of what they're saying. Listen to the content of their bars. There's a difference in it. They're intricate. They're very, very intricate. Those men are wordsmiths. Those men are incredible at words. Like they're deserve their flowers and their props because they're incredible at words. But there's being incredible, and then there's delivering that incredible. Someone has to, if so, the difference between a battle rapper and your mainstream rapper, right? Kendrick Lamar, his songs are already known. His songs are memorized. The lyrics are written down, so anyone could just look him up. So when he does a concert and he performs "Humble" or "DNA" or "Mad City," his fans are already gonna know the words. So it's already gonna be a hit to them. They're already gonna go along with it. Whereas a battle rapper, whenever they get on stage, everything that they're coming to the stage with is, for the most part, new material. Sometimes they might mix in a slogan to get the crowd going, and that's crowd control. But for the most part, their lines are all fresh, so all new. And it's running a risk that the crowd is going to be able to catch it, hear it, digest it, and then react to it. And that's going to be entertaining for them. That's going to be fire. And the best way to do that is to not only make something intricate, but edit it in such a way that it's intricate, but it's easy to digest. Throw out the bar, move on to the next bar, and then lay down your next shit, right? Watch that with a Sue Surf, Charlie Clips, New Jersey Twerk. New Jersey Twerk and Sue Surf are probably, maybe it's my Jersey bias, but those are probably the best battle rappers to listen to if you want to get a good idea of what battle rap sounds like, or how battle rap compares to what's it called. Now, between the Drake and Kendrick shit, I don't really care for Drake. Never been a fan of him. Never really listened to his music. I always thought that he was fake. I mean, to go from being a TV star to being a hip hop head, you don't really get to talk about the same struggle and the same grind that other guys did. You take, for instance, your KRS-Ones, your DMXs, your Wu-Tang Clans, your brothers who were trying to make mixtapes and get it played on the radio, who had to stand online and battle other brothers who were standing online with them. Just this way, people who upstairs hearing this shit, they gonna take the guy who won them battles, and that's whose mixtape gets played. There's a real grind there. Today's kids, today's generation don't know nothing about that, but Drake definitely didn't know nothing about a hustle. He went from being a TV star to being a rapper. So the start from the bottom. Now we hear there was a meme way back when they were like, you start from the bottom. You had a backdoor pool, in ground, and all that. Brothers in the hood don't have that. Go to Brooklyn and try to find yourself an in-ground pool in the backyard of someone's house. Good luck. Good luck. I don't know. It. I still. Oh, now my point though with bringing up Drake is, even though I'm not a big fan of him, when it comes to like halftime show, let's be real, he probably would have put on a way better performance. Not agreeing with whatever nonsense he's involved with. If he's doing his own little Diddy act, I'm not condoning any of that. But as far as performance wise, people loved him. If he rapped on stage, people loved him. So the people who are assuming that because someone didn't like Drake, they must be white and they must be racist and they don't like rap, that's not it. Because those same people may have enjoyed Drake, and they may have enjoyed Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre some years ago when they were on stage. You know what I mean? That's entertainment. We don't, the media, no one minds if I think the people who mind the most about ghetto-ness are black people who are not trying to be pinned for just being that, because it's assumed that black culture is just ghetto culture, it's just hood culture, and it's not that. There's been a couple of debates I get into with folks, and when people see my face and whatnot, they don't. Again, I probably had this conversation in the past. I don't believe that I'm half black, but I am, and the black culture I was raised on wasn't, talking hood, talking street, talking slang, gang banging, all of that, sell drugs with it. That wasn't it. You may see me smoke a spliff here and there, but that's not even black culture. That who anyone smoke a spliff, it's not race, specific. But not every black culture is hood. Not every black culture is gangster, gangbang. Not every black culture is that the ghetto talk and the ebonics. Some black people just they grow up differently. I remember seeing a video maybe a couple of days ago, and they're trying to make a comparison between two people. They showed one video of two black kids in a car, and they were rapping along, and they were like 2, 3 years old, but they were apparently trying to sing along with this rap song about gangbang and all that. And then side by side of that, they showed a picture of a baby, a white baby, who's playing piano. And they try to say this is the difference between cultures, and this is what I'm saying is that's not a representation of the whole culture of people. Black people are many different cultures. You have West Indian black people, you have African black people, you have Southern black people, you have Northern black people, you have black people from the West Coast, you have black people from the Midwest. Everyone has different cultures. You know, my family grew up with a piano in the house. Actually, my mother had got my sister a keyboard. My mother's not black, but I'm half black. My sister's half Puerto Rican. She ended up with a keyboard. My uncle had a guitar. Actually, there was a brother who was in our chorus class when I was in high school. I can't remember his name. Holy shit. I wish I did remember his name because he was a really talented kid. Like, really, really talented. The kid could sing bass. He could sing tenor. He could play bass. He could play guitar. He could play piano. In fact, he was the only one in the whole chorus class, excuse me, who our director, our teacher, would have sit next to her at the piano while she played because he was the only one that could follow the music. So when she needed the page to be turned, he could turn the page because he knew how to follow that music. None of us could. So hip hop it is a part of black culture, sure, but it's also a part of American culture, and it's not the only part of black culture. Black culture is much more than that. Black people are rock and roll. Black people are reggae. Black people are blues. They are soca. They are a lot of things. I think it's ignorant to just say and to assume that just because someone doesn't like someone sometimes music they must be racist, whatever. It doesn't make any sense. I love hip hop. I'm not over the moon about Kendrick. Is he on my playlist? Here, there's a couple songs here on my playlist, but he's not the only artist, and he doesn't make up the majority of my playlist. He's not even. I wouldn't even put him for top 20 as far as my favorites go. I'm not trying to hate on him or nothing, but he wouldn't be my top pick. Of course, some of my top picks are dead, and that is what it is. But I mean, I love hip hop is my point. Just because I don't like this one artist doesn't mean I'm a hater of hip hop. There's a lot of actual new hip hop artists that I don't give a shit about. Most of what's on the radio today, if it just came out in the last 5-10 years, I probably haven't really played it or heard it. If it's a new artist that just came out in the last 5-10 years, probably haven't heard of them. And I'm not upset about that because the mumble rap, the trap music, it's not intricate to me. It's not the same thing. It's not. I don't know. It doesn't have the same vibe. It doesn't have the same flow. It doesn't sound as well thought out. You listen to most trap music. You listen to most stuff along that line. This stuff sounds easy to make. With Kendrick's stuff, it's a bit of his performance. Another part of it is his voice. I don't really care for his voice too much. I can only listen to maybe 2-3 songs before I had enough of his voice. I need something else. And sometimes his delivery is just a little awkward. Does it make him a bad artist? No. It doesn't make him a bad artist. I don't think it makes him bad by any means. It means he has hits, but I don't think he has bangers. You know what I mean? And there's a difference. There's making a hit, but then there's making a banger. Like, let's be real. Again, fairness, the man is dead. But if DMX was alive and they had him host that what's it called? He came with some bangers, even if they were old hits. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Would have still had the whole stadium rocking. You crazy? That stadium would have been way louder than anything we've ever heard. Just for y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Let's be real, and that's just one artist. Shit, even Jay-Z, even in his day, even what he's doing today, with all the nonsense he's going through, he still came back with some of his old shit and would have rocked the house. It's just there's hits and there's bangers, and he's not a bad artist. Kendrick isn't a bad artist. He's just not an entertaining artist, and I think everyone has a right to have their own opinion on that. Yeah. Um, I'm not gonna dive too much into the little symbols and whatnot, the underlining meanings and whatnot, because if you have to dig into, like I said before, you have to dig into the shit to understand it. It's it wasn't good writing. Um, it wasn't it wasn't real properly edited to deliver it to your audience. Um, but I'm not the professional. What would I know? I can only take from what I hear from other rappers and how they uh, explain things. Like if you ever watch a Ruin Your Day video, there's people like Lush One. Now Lush One, I don't know if you ever heard of Lush One. He's not a rapper. He's I think he's like a promoter, producer. He helps get like events to when I go on. And if you've ever seen him, if you looked at Lush One, you probably think, hey, this guy don't know nothing about hip hop, but the guy does. The guy like does. I used to look at this guy and think he looks like a weirdo, but then watching him on Ruin Your Day with Avocado, watching how he analyzes, how he listens to bars and how like the things that he catches goes over most people's heads. This man is really really sharp, and how he and other artists have explained like the way certain people craft their lines to deliver what they're trying to say, get their point across, but do it in a way that keeps the crowd's attention on them, and it that's proper editing. You can be intricate and still have good delivery. That's all I'm saying. But for now, I think I've said enough. I've done a lot of talking for 16 minutes. All right, y'all be well. That's out.